Hey everyone, it is Julie here with TipRanks, and today we're taking a look at some new positions from a top-ranked hedge fund manager. So let's get into it. All right, guys, welcome back. Thank you all so much for being here. Today, we are taking a look at the recent activity of a top-ranked hedge fund manager, and in particular, 3 new stock positions that they added in the last quarter. We found today's stocks using the Top Hedge Fund Manager page. Under Top Experts, we headed to Top Hedge Fund Managers, and there I was checking out the list of the top few here when we landed on John Kim from Night Owl Management. He is currently ranked number 5 out of 487 hedge fund managers with a 5-star rating. Here we can see some of the biggest positions in his portfolio, which is worth $658.72 million. His top sectors here include technology, financial, and communication services. When looking at recent activity, I wanted to look at holding change and notice there was a few brand new positions. So we're going to take a closer look at these new positions, what it is that the companies do, if other hedge funds have been increasing their holdings as well, and of course how those Wall Street analysts weigh in. If you enjoyed today's video, make sure you hit that thumbs up button and that you're subscribed to the channel as well. Now let's get right into our 3 stocks. First, recently added to Night Owl Capital is Vistra Energy. They trade under the ticker VST, currently priced just shy of $87 per share. Their stock has really taken off this past year, gaining about 250% and climbing 26% in the last 3 months. Vistra is an integrated retail electricity and power generation company. They produce electricity through their natural gas, nuclear, coal, and solar facilities, providing services to commercial, municipal, residential, and industrial customers from California to Maine. Vistra is the largest competitive residential retail electricity provider in the country. Night Owl's new position in Vistra Energy is worth about $13.41 million. And they are not the only hedge fund scooping up shares. In the last quarter, hedge fund holdings increased by 10.9 million shares. Down below, we can see a list with several companies taking on brand new positions, about 6 overall, and a bunch of others adding to their existing holdings, one taking their position to up to $446 million. Now, with all of that recent stock growth, you might be surprised to hear that Vistra actually missed on their latest earnings report and did see revenue decline over 30% year over year. For their first quarter, they reported earnings per share of 15 cents, which fell short of the expectations of 62 cents, and they reported net income from ongoing operations of $39 million. The company was added to the S&P 500 effective May 8th and did update their future outlooks. Management noted how they recently closed the acquisition of Energy Harbor and that their team hit the ground running on integration, making significant progress to date. Just over a week ago, we did see a 5-star analyst from Seaport Global increase their price target on the stock. The analyst bumped up their price target to $116. They said that even after this year's price rally, companies such as Vistra continue to trade at attractive double-digit free cash flow yields. With 6 current analyst ratings, the Vistra Energy stock does come in as a unanimous strong buy, with an average price target of $108.17, implying an upside potential of over 24.5% from current prices. We can see that increased price target here from Seaport with an upside of 33%, our high-end price target from BMO with an upside of 39%, and a low-end price target, actually one of our old buy ratings that we've already surpassed with a downside of 17%. The second stock that Night Owl Capital took a new position in is GE Aerospace. They trade under the ticker GE and are priced at $163 per share. This is another stock that has seen some great growth in the past year, up 95%, and in the last 3 months is up about 17%. GE Aerospace is what used to be General Electric, but the company is now divested into several businesses. And GE Aerospace has now become their standalone aviation company. They are a world-leading provider of jet and turboprop engines, as well as integrated systems for commercial, military, business, and general aviation aircraft. From a turbo supercharger to the world's most powerful commercial jet engine, GE Aerospace history goes back more than 100 years. And now the company is working on the challenge of decarbonizing commercial flights. Last quarter, Night Owl Capital scooped up nearly $22.6 million worth of the GE Aerospace stock. But in this case, the average trend went downwards, with hedge funds decreasing their holdings overall by 11 million shares. Now, when we look at the hedge fund activity, there still are several companies scooping up new positions and a couple adding to existing positions, one going up to over $8.2 billion. But if we look at the holding change here, we also had several companies selling out or reducing their holdings as well. GE did share strong Q1 earnings results back at the end of April with an earnings and revenue beat. For their first quarter, they reported earnings per share of 82 cents, beating estimates by 11 cents per share. And on the revenue side of things, they had adjusted revenue of $8.1 billion, which was up 15%, and total orders of $11 billion. Looking at their GE consolidated results, the total orders came in at $20.1 billion, which was up 14%. Just over a week ago, a 5-star analyst from JP Morgan reiterated their buy rating on the GE stock. They said despite the challenges in the supply chain affecting new engine deliveries, they see a robust growth in commercial services, expecting significant year-over-year increases. They also view GE Aerospace as a leading company in the commercial aerospace sector with a strong management team and a solid balance sheet. We've seen 15 analysts weigh in on the GE stock recently, and they do all come in with unanimous buy ratings. And with that strong buy consensus comes an average price target of $183, implying an upside potential of 12.5%. Looking at our recent ratings down below, on the low end, we actually have our JP Morgan rating here, a couple at 7.3%, and a recent high-end price target from Deutsche Bank with an upside of 28%. If we go back a little bit older, at the start of April, we have one buy rating with a slight downside of nearly 2% and a 29% upside from Goldman Sachs. And the third stock that Night Owl Capital took a new position in is Constellation Energy. They trade under the ticker CEG, priced at $219. Once again, we have another stock that has seen some incredible growth over the past year. It has climbed 147% in the last year, and also 23% in the last 3 months. Constellation Energy is focused on sustainable solutions and providing clean energy. Their purpose is to accelerate the transition to a carbon-free future, and they are the largest producer of carbon-free energy in the country. Their fleet of generation facilities include nuclear, hydro, wind, and solar, and their annual output is nearly 90% carbon-free. They provide energy services to home, businesses, and public sector customers across the U.S. This was the largest new position from Night Owl Capital, with them scooping up about $26.7 million worth of the shares. And this is another stock that also saw the overall hedge fund activity increase. In the last quarter, hedge fund holdings increased by 3.4 million shares overall. We can see, again, a handful of companies taking brand new positions, some as large as $378 million. In their first quarter earnings report near the start of May, they came out with a pretty notable earnings beat, an increase to their share authorization program, and reaffirmed their full-year guidance. For their first quarter, they reported earnings per share of $1.82, which was over 50 cents ahead of expectations and a pretty big year-over-year increase as well. Revenue came in at $6.16 billion, which did miss estimates by $620 million, but the company did reaffirm their full-year guidance for adjusted operating earnings, and they also authorized an additional $1 billion to repurchase shares. Earlier in June, we did have a 5-star analyst from BMO who reiterated their buy rating and slightly increased their price target, saying that his optimism in the company stems from their promising earnings and cash flow projections in both the short and long term, bolstered by the strengthening power market fundamentals. They also acknowledged the company's strategic advantage in catering to the rising demand for data centers, which require large-scale carbon-free power supply solutions. Analysts are a bit more divided on the Constellation Energy stock. It does come in as a moderate buy with 11 current ratings, breaking down to 7 buys and 4 holds. And analysts' average price target comes in just shy of $230 per share for an upside potential of nearly 5%. Looking at our ratings down below, we do have a few hold ratings throughout here, one with our low-end price target with a downside of about 1%, high-end price target coming in from Wells Fargo with an upside of 14%. So that is a quick look at 3 stocks recently purchased by Night Owl Capital. Let me know your thoughts on these companies in the comments down below. You guys know I always appreciate hearing from you guys. Of course, keep in mind these videos are never a suggestion to buy or sell any specific stock, just keeping you up to date with what Wall Street is looking at, so please make sure you always stick to your own investment plan and do your own research and due diligence. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great day, and I'll see you back here next time.